Hi, my name is Drew Pomeroy, and welcome to this beginner-friendly series on learning RStudio and Shiny Apps.io for athlete monitoring. In this series, we'll be exploring how to create a dynamic and user-friendly web application to monitor athletic performance, specifically focusing on baseball players. All right, so now that we've got our metric tables in there and looking good, we've got the longitudinal graphs and all of that. My next step is going to be looking into some historic data, so we'll want to read that in. And then I also want to put some percentiles on there. So I'll focus on the category scores first. We're just going to display horizontal lines on there for the 25th and 75th percentile. So let's get into reading in the historic data, updating our category chart with those percentiles. And then what we'll do is go into displaying percentiles for all of the selected metrics in a little table. And then after that, we're going to put those into all the longitudinal tables as well, so that we'll get that 25th and 75th percentile based off of the age group of the selected player in those. So all of that to look forward to in this next one. All right, so we're going to read in a new Google Sheet. So let's go ahead and read in historic data. And this is going to be the same thing. What I want to call this one will just be historic data. All right. Historic data, we're going to read sheet. Same thing that we did above. And let's go ahead. I've got it here, so you guys can find that below to add it in. Sweet. Oh no. There we go. And just for consistency, we'll also throw in sheet equals sheet 1. So we know that to be true. We should be good to go there. So let's go ahead and read in our historic data, reading from final new assessment range sheet 1. Awesome, I'm already connected and everything, so that went through just fine. Okay, and next, right down here, what we did was change everything to uppercase. So I'm gonna do the same exact thing. I'm just gonna copy this. We'll paste this right below it. This one is gonna be historic data. Nice, 2 upper, awesome. Go ahead and run that, and we're good to go there just for consistency's sake. So next, now that we have that in there, we're gonna deal with all that later. What I'm gonna do now is get us into the category scores, and we're gonna put in a 25th percentile horizontal line. And this one's easy just because we don't actually have to call in the historic data right now, because all those scores are 0 to 100. So all we need to do is put in horizontal line at the 25th. I'll do an average line at the 50th, then we'll do a green line up at the 75th. So let's get into it. All right, so as a little visual representation of where we're going, we do have these category scores here and our overall score there. What I want to do is pretty much create the same display, but just as bar charts. And that's where we're just going to have a nice little 2 displays showing the same thing. Because here, I mean, we can tell, right? We know this is the 49th percentile, this is the 47th-ish percentile, but I just want to have a table down here so that I can see kind of how far away I am from that 75th or 25th. So just kind of giving us, another way to view this. So we'll get into actually displaying this. So let's just call this the categories bar chart. This is going to be a plot output, and let's call this categories bar chart. All right. So now we'll head to the server code, figure that all out, and then we'll run this sucker. So I'm going to want to put this below my gauges. So let's look for the output label for gauges. All right, so this is going to be directly underneath here. What we'll need to do is this section will be called the category scores summary bar chart. So I'm just going to paste that right here. What we want to do is output. All right, categories bar chart. All right, and we're going to render plot. And again, we need that squiggle going in there. What's going to be required here is player data, and make sure we've got that there. Nice. All right, so now we're going to need to create a data frame for the bar chart. So player data, create a data frame for the bar chart. So let's call this our categories data. All right, and this is going to be a data frame. And what we'll do, category is going to equal a factor. And then we'll combine these things. I am going to copy this because I've already done this before. And boom, boom, boom. Sweet. So let me paste this in here. So what we're saying here essentially is the category is going to be a factor. That factor is going to include these, and that's going to have levels to it. So that's just going to be the same thing, kind of repeated twice. I'll scroll over so you can see this. We do not need these two in here. We will need that comma. But yeah, that's going to be kind of the start of our data frame here. Our next piece we want to do is, what is the score? So the score is going to be, and again, we want to round these just like we did before. So we're going to go player data. All right. And money sign. This will be movement score. Again, we're calling that column. And two, or the header, I should say. Comma, and we'll add our next one. So we're just going to do this for every single one that we put up here. So I'll just copy these. Once I paste this, you can pause it again just to get it all written down. And then we've got that nice and closed out. Sweet. So now what we'll do is actually plot the categories bar chart. So good old ggplot is coming back. So we want to pull from our categories data. All right, our aesthetics. X is going to equal the category. So we were just setting everything up to throw into here earlier. Y is going to equal the score, which we just defined there. And the fill is going to be the category. All right, so next we'll go in. We want to GM bar. All right, we want to be stat equals identity. Nice. And then we want GM text. So we want our aesthetics and our label to be score. And then let's just place this here, the V just. So let's go negative 0.5. I think I've used that before, just kind of becoming standard now. I want this to be black. And the size, let's make it 3.5. That seems to be pretty normal across the board. All right. And we'll add a plus sign there. So what this does is add labels on top of bars. Cool. Let's YLM. So what this is doing is setting the scale on the y-axis, 0 to 100. We know that's always going to be true. And then let's get into more of these labels. So the title, we're going to call this Summary of Assessment Scores. And X is going to be category, Y is going to equal the score. Nice. Next line, theme. Let's keep it minimal. Never want to be doing too much, even though this is a shitload of code. Whoops, not theme. So theme again. All right, axis, title, X equals element, text. So I'll talk about this as I'm typing this out. You can see I just typed angle. So I've tried a few things in here, so you may want to mess with the angle. I mean, have fun with it however you want it to look. I do like it when the angle is 0 more than when I kind of tilt it. So just my preference. You can do whatever you want. 0.5 and size, the text size is here. I'm gonna make that 10 just so it's kind of small and out of the way really. So here we are combining, we don't need to type that in, whatever. All right, so now axis title X again. Oh, shoot. Sorry, this was not supposed to be title up here. That's the axis text. Now I'm going to go into the title. X, right, this is going to equal element text. Okay. VJust equals 0.5. So what is this? I'm just adjusting the title position, and I just want that to be like that. Adjust the title position. All right, and the legend. This likes to just put a legend in by default. I don't want one. Don't need it. Oh, sorry, we need comma at the end of that one. Legend position, none. Okay, so that's gonna end that section. And now we want to scale, fill, manual, baby. So our values, right, combined, this is where we're gonna set the colors to. So I want to display the overall score as a separate color than the rest, which is why we need to do this manual fill. I'm gonna copy this over just to save me some typing. But this is saying I want, you know, my normal category scores to be black and the overall category score to be that steel blue color. And I can get rid of that. And then here, we'll go ahead and do another one and a plus. Let's actually go here. Boom. Nice, that looks good. So we're ending that piece, and now what we're gonna do is add our horizontal line. So GMH line, this is gonna be at a y-intercept at 75. For the line type, add our options here, solid, dashed, whatever. I'm gonna go solid for my 75th and 25th percentiles, and I'm gonna do dashed for the 50th percentile, which is just gonna be the average score. So I just wanna call it out and make it look a little bit different. But from here, I also wanna give these colors, right? So higher percentile is better. So let's go dark green. And size, I think this sometimes defaults and it's a little too thin. So we're actually gonna put in the size right now. So it's gonna be our green line at the 75th percentile, and we want to do this for the rest of them. So let's just copy this, paste it twice. All right, get rid of the plus sign on that last one. We'll do 50. This one's going to be 25. Line type, I want my middle one to be dashed actually. Color here, I want to do royal blue 4. So keeping it a little bit darker. Okay, y-intercept 25, keep that solid. And let's make this dark red. Okay. Get rid of this line here. Awesome, so that should give us our output there. Let's go ahead and test this sucker also. All right, so let's run this back from the UI. Oops, okay. UI, server, shiny. Awesome, so we've got this displaying now. This is our summary of assessment scores. And we can see that we've got that showing up at the 25th, 50th, and then 75th. So just another way to be able to visualize this while we can see the gauges just kind of nice to be able to say, hey, I can view this in a separate way. So yeah, now that we've got that going, what we'll do is actually over in this side panel here, I just want to display the percentiles for all of our age groups for all of the metrics that show up in our metric tables and our drop downs. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay updated on the next video, and I'll see you in the next one.